guest, Simbe. Simbe, would you like to also introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. My name is Simbe. It's an honor to be here again. I'm excited to talk about the game we just witnessed.
Yes, so today we're going to be getting into the fiasco that went along last night. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Pacers give the Thunder a run. It was a fiasco. It was a fight. It was a fight to the finish. Game started out. OKC's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, they doing their lobs, everything. You know, everybody's playing well. They went in by like what were they up like 8 point 8 9 10 points or something like that. They were up like 12 points at some point. All of a sudden, Pacers started getting real gritty. And what I saw was the Pacers came out and gave OKC a taste of their own medicine as far as their playbook. Defensively, they came out and gave them a taste of their own medicine. And it was embarrassing to watch for me because I was just like, wow, like to see SGA looking frazzled on the floor, it just bothered me so much. But what are your thoughts on the game last night? First thoughts.
Man, the game last night it was really intense. I mean, what the how do I say this? Off the bat, what the Thunder could not recover from is the second quarter and the fourth quarter that the Indiana Pacers put together. The Indiana Pacers scored 40 points in the second quarter, and then they almost doubled OKC in points in the fourth quarter, and that was essentially the game right there,
Mm-hmm.
straight up. And it's kind of crazy because they no team could really pull away. The largest lead of the night for Indiana actually was the final score when they went up 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
OKC had a 9 point lead. They had a couple 7 point leads. They could never really put their foot on the neck of Indiana. And where last time we came on here, I said that Indiana didn't do anything that was repeatable that showed that they could actually dominate and win this series. Last night was the first time where I had to switch that opinion because OKC shot 46% from three. OKC shot 47% from the field. OKC caused 14 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
OKC got 42 rebounds. But Indiana forced 19 turnovers. Indiana could have shot better from three. They only shot 33% from three. So there are things that Indiana could have improved on, but the good things that Indiana did last night are definitely repeatable, especially Tyrese Halliburton being more aggressive.
Mm. Okay, because I feel like it was a lot going on. First, you had Tyrese and all of them being a little more aggressive. Um, Miles was trying to do his best. One thing, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and they pointed something out to me. They were saying that one thing that OKC does, and this is why they are so well at what they do. They don't box out necessarily the star player every time. They box out the second best player. And they weren't able to do that last night at all. There was no boxing out of Pascal CSI, Pascal. There was no boxing out of Tyrese Halliburton. Like Halliburton was getting over them. He was shooting his little, what do we call them? His little middies and everything. And the shots were going in. Um, just their offense overall is just very interesting to watch because every time I'm watching the Pacers, it's like all the buckets are going in, they're not going out. So it's like, how do you make them make a stupid shot? You know what I mean? And OKC wasn't able to dominate and do that last night, even with the two bigs on the floor. I was like, yo, like they got the two bigs on the floor. This is going to change the dynamic. At first it did, but then when they started playing their own game against them, double teaming them, I swear, I saw like four Pacers on SGA at one point. I was like, why are there four Pacers on SGA? It was kind of wild. It was a wild game. Just look at these stats.
As we look at stats, one of the most glaring stats that stick out to me was the lack of bench production from OKC and the incredible bench production that came from
TJ McConnell,
Indiana.
Benedict Mathurin,
So
Obi Toppin.
just to give a comparison, the Indiana bench scored a whopping 49 points. The OKC bench scored 18 points. So that's a big deal right there
Mm-hmm.
for me. And that's just what I, at first glance, as I looked up right now. Alex Caruso couldn't get going. Hartenstein couldn't get going.
Mhm.
Hartenstein didn't even affect the game on the boards. And another thing that was really concerning for me is, to your point, you said SGA was looking frazzled. The reason I agree with that, he had 6 turnovers and only 4 assists. And even without me even seeing the stats, visually, he wasn't passing well out of the double team. And when he was passing, he was in traffic, passing into more traffic. I
Mhm.
didn't get that. And that was the kind of thinking that you do when you're tired. That's the kind of, as you know, when people are
There was nowhere
fatigued,
to
they
go.
make bad decisions. Well, there
There was
was some,
nowhere
but
for him to
some
go.
of
I
those
think there was four
turnovers,
paces on him at one point. Every
no,
possession he had the ball, there were four of them on him. 4 on 1. That was it
some
was
of
crazy.
those, some of those turnovers, you're right. He was
That's
in a
why.
bad position, but some
Hmm.
of those turnovers should have just turned into floaters. And even
Yeah.
if they miss or not, it'll get. I'd rather risk the 50-50 of it missing or making
Hmm.
than if I'm in the paint and I see you by the basket, but it's 4 niggas around me, me trying to squeeze a pass to you between 4 dudes under the paint. I'd rather just throw it at the basket, throw it at the rim. Um, but yeah, so that was an issue for me. Um,
Did you
they
see how
weren't
they boxed out Wiggins?
Aaron Wiggins,
They
yeah,
had
but also
Aaron
Aaron
Wiggins because Aaron Wiggins. How many minutes did he play? It
he
says
only
10
played
minutes. It seemed like he was on the floor more than 10 minutes for some reason, but it says 10 minutes on here. They definitely boxed him out. He wasn't able to make any. He wasn't able to do anything. They was just taking the ball from him.
what do you think about their rotations? Because I didn't, I don't,
They're hmm
I have not liked OKC's coaching strategy as it pertains to rotations, starting with game one, bringing Hartenstein off the bench unprovoked. I have not, I feel like the coach has made some questionable decisions with his rotations, with his substitution timing that has bothered me. So I want to know what's your opinion on that.
Let me tell you one thing about him bringing Hartenstein off the bench. Hartenstein is someone who tends to foul a lot, right? If you look at his last few games, he hasn't been fouling as much coming off the bench. Now, if he was starting, sometimes he'll start and it'll be like two aggressive fouls like out the blue, and you just like, what did he even do? You know what I'm saying? But coming off the bench, I've seen him getting into less foul trouble. So I don't know if that's a way to keep him out of foul trouble so that they don't have to keep him out of the game for a longer amount of time. Like, let's look at Hartenstein minutes. Shet played 35
He
minutes.
only
Hartenstein
he
only
only
played
played 18
18.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, but half of those
and
18
he
minutes,
only
they
had
was
two
playing the
fouls.
double big position on the floor.
I should have rolled with that.
You see what I'm saying? And I feel like if Shet and Hartenstein are on the floor, it'll be it's better. It's better overall for him to not get in so much foul trouble.
Yeah, I think they should have played. I think it's like if I had any input on OKC, I would say, okay, Coach Dagnall, thank you. The Kason Wallace, switching Kason Wallace for Isaiah Hartenstein. Okay, thank you. We've done that for 3 games. Very nice.
Jason
It's
Wallace
time
was
to
in
go
foul
back.
trouble last
It's
night
time.
as well.
He only had 2 fouls.
Jason Wallace last night,
He only had 2 fouls,
I thought
but
he had
he was
three
only
or
three.
four.
No, he
Are
only
you
had two.
sure?
Nobody was in. There was no Oklahoma City Thunder last night in foul trouble.
Are you sure?
I am 100. I'm looking at it. I got it. The
Okay.
most fouls last night was you had a couple guys for OKC tied for 3 fouls for the whole game.
Okay, so it
So
was just the Pacers that was because I know they took what's his name Neesmith out. And Nimhard, they had both of them had 5 fouls apiece. They ended up taking out Neesmith. And who was the third pacer that had five
Neesmith
fouls?
fouled out. Neesmith fouled out. He
Yeah,
had
that's
six
what I said.
fouls.
Yeah, he had 6. But it was one more pacer that had 5 fouls.
That was Nemhard.
No. I already mentioned him. It was Neesmith, Nemhart, and it was one more.
That's it.
No, it was like three of them.
That's I'm looking at it.
Oh,
That's it. That's that's it.
see, I don't like this because I can't see
But
your screen right.
Nemhard had this. Go to do you have to bump? No, you know what I like to do? I like to go to ESPN.com. Theirs
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm
better. They got a better layout. That's what I look at.
gonna do.
Yeah, there's this ESPN.com is the one that's just easier for me
Let's look at this.
because it got it spread out from left to right,
Ah,
and then I go to
yeah, no, that's what
back
I normally look
to
at,
the
but I was
bottom.
just trying to see if I could bring it up on a smaller screen. Give me 2 seconds.
But Nemhard, it makes sense for Nemhard to have 5 fouls because that's the Nemhard and
Well,
Neesmith are
his
the
job
ones
was to
guarding
guard
Shea.
SGA. Yeah.
Shea. So it don't matter to me if they foul out because I want you to make his life a living hell for
Hmm.
48 minutes. So between the two of y'all got 12 fouls between the two of y'all. I want y'all to use it. They used 11 of them last night, and you see it got on SGA's nerves. He had 6 turnovers.
Yeah, he looked really annoyed.
So
Yeah, okay. Pascal had
so
three, and then Obi Toppin had three. Okay, you're right. I don't know why I thought I saw like 5 fouls on it. I don't know. I don't know what I was looking at.
it's just
Um,
easier when you can see it in this way.
yeah, no, I thought I saw the three of them, but yeah. So yeah, going forward, the fact that they were able to defensively take OKC out the way that they did just boxed them totally. They didn't fully box them out the game because let's not act like it wasn't a competitive game the whole game. They just happened to pull ahead. Because
Absolutely.
I was just like, I was looking, I was like, okay, we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. OKC actually pulled ahead by like 4 points a few times, and then they kept getting taken aback because Halliburton kept hitting threes. So, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like how going forward, how are they gonna adjust to this new defensive style of play that the Pacers have thrown back in their face. OKC has done this to teams all year long. They've double teamed, triple teamed certain players on the floor all year long. So to get for them to get a taste of their own medicine, now I'm just wondering, okay, where do we go from here? How do we strategize? What are we gonna do, Simba? How are we gonna win this next game?
Yeah. So
Because I thought that
it
these guys
starts
were gonna
by
get tired, and they just didn't get tired. And I think it was because of the good bench
well, it's
rotation from their coach.
I'm with you. It starts by, in my opinion, first off, it starts by putting reinserting Isaiah Hartenstein back into the starting lineup. Not first and foremost. That's where it starts for me. I gotta put him back. Jason Wallace gotta go back to the bench, especially if Jason Wallace is only going to be taking 5 shots. He only had 2 fouls, and so he's not being aggressive on defense, and he's also not making anything happen on offense. I want Hartenstein there. I want that size down low. That way Chet doesn't have to get beat up. I don't need Chet Holmgren taking 6 threes unless he's on fire. He was 0 for 6 from 3 last night. I did not need that from him. So that's first and foremost. And then secondly, we need to get more shots up. I think we were over. If we were okay, if I'm
You said Shep
OKC's
was 0
coach,
for
I'm
3
saying we
from three
pass the
point
ball
range.
way too much.
You said Shep was
0 for 6.
he was
0 for
okay. I thought
6.
you
My
said
bad.
0 for 3. I was like, no, he's 0 for 6. But did you see Hartenstein
Yeah, yeah.
was
But
trying to take some floaters? This is just
Hartenstein was
messy.
2
This
for
is just
3.
messy. Hmm?
Hartenstein was 2 for 3 from the field. He was good. I
My thing
think we
is,
need, but it's
Hartenstein can drive to the basket, and the fact that he was driving to the basket last night was
he
wild.
had a nice drive. Did you see that?
He
Did
don't
you see
normally
that nice
drive. He
drive? He
normally
made that
screens.
shot though.
Huh?
Here's what I here's what I realized with Hartenstein.
Yeah.
You can't play Hartenstein 18 minutes. You got to play him 30 minutes because he's a flow of the game type player.
Yeah.
What's a few things you keep saying about Hartenstein all year? He sets good screens. He's
Yeah.
smart with the dribble handoff. You can
Mhm.
run offense through him sometimes in the middle of the floor when Shea don't got it. And so those are things that you can't just do instantly. It's not the same as like back in the day when you would bring Lou Will off the bench and he would score 10 points in a row. That's not Hartenstein's game. He's not a
Yeah.
scorer. He's like a what do you
He's
call
just
a do it all. He's kind of like a hard worker. You know
yeah.
what I mean? He just like I don't even know what to call it, but he like a blue collar lunch pail glue guy. And in order to be a glue guy effectively, you need to play him a lot of minutes so he can be that glue.
Great
And
defensively as well. When
exactly,
he's
and
getting
that's
them
why
shots.
I had a problem with him. Yeah, and that's the thing. 18 minutes is not enough time for him to even control the boards. He only had 3 rebounds last night. If you're going to play in 18 minutes, that's not enough time for him to even make an impact on the defensive boards. Um,
What's
but
funny
with
is
that said, they
OKC had
did.
42 boards and Pacers only had 36.
You're not wrong. You're not
Still
wrong.
out
You're
rebounding them.
not wrong. But it
They,
didn't.
but they
It did.
couldn't. But they
Even though
couldn't.
I'm not gonna like.
They couldn't make those possessions count.
I just there you go. It just felt, and also Isaiah Hartenstein is a good offensive rebounder. So the longer he's in the game, the more he can make his impact felt. I don't think he got that opportunity. I don't think he got that opportunity last night. Um, Offensively, Jalen Williams had his best game of the series last night. I feel like I need more from him. Um,
I feel like
I
he
just
did
need
what he
more.
needed to do, but he was missing free throws, and those missed free throws were very vital to their loss. Very
Can we
vital.
talk about that though? Can we talk about that though, Monica? What
Because
I felt like,
Pacers didn't miss
what's up with the
free
free throw
throws.
as the whole
Missed
team? I
no free
mean,
throws. The whole team was on point, but Jalen Williams, and then Shea, when Shea missed that free throw in that I think it was fourth quarter, I was like, whoa, whoa,
they
whoa, now,
missed
like, now,
they missed seven
come
free
on,
throws.
come on.
Like Jalen Williams missed 4 free throws. I needed all 4 of those points last night. I
Yeah,
needed
they
all
did.
four. That
It would have made a big difference.
humongous because now we're talking about 116 to 111. That's a different game. Case and Wallace, if you're not going to be attacking the basket, you need to make both your free throws. Now we at 112. You know what I mean? And Shea gotta go 6 for 6. And that would have got us to 113. Now it's a one possession game.
That's all I'm saying.
And it's all because look at Indiana. Among everybody who shot free throws, Siakam, he only missed one.
Mhm.
Nemhart only missed one, and then Ben Mathurin only missed one. They only missed 3 free throws. They was what is it, 86% versus 76%. I mean, come on now. And then that doesn't help when OKC only attempted 79 shots
Mhm.
and Indiana attempted 85. That's what I meant when I say when you was getting in the paint, those turnovers should have been shots. You take a couple of those turnovers, turn them into shots, you give yourself a chance.
Right.
I did not like that. I did not like that from OKC. It felt like indecision, indecisiveness. It felt like they were being timid. It felt like niggas was being scared. I don't like using that word. You know what
They
it
were
felt like?
scared.
OKC is the youngest team in the finals since 1977, and last night was the first time where it felt like these niggas is young and scared and all that bravado and all that shit they be doing. It felt like it came to a head last night. That's what it felt like. It felt like all shit is real because it's easy to have your bravado when you playing in OKC at home. That's real easy. When you on the road, it's big. It's grown man time on the road because
Right.
when you're missing shots, Monica's not wearing her OKC t-shirt saying "Let's go team." Instead, it's a whole family of five saying, "At you, go Indiana." So that's when you got to really calm yourself down and play within yourself. I'm gonna be honest with you, Monica. I am concerned.
Mhm.
I'm
Um,
concerned about okay. I'm not saying that OKC will lose. I'm saying the door is a lot more open for me to accept that Indiana can win than it
right.
was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I was more bullish on OKC in five. Now I don't even know if I can put a game amount on this because all Indiana needs is Halliburton to just be aggressive as he was last night. And dare I say, I don't want to say it, Monica, but if he stays aggressive and he gives me 20, if he gives me 17 to 20 shot attempts per game, Monica,
Mhm.
I don't want to say it, but your boy's in trouble. Your boys from Oklahoma is in trouble.
Let's see
In
what the coach
trouble.
had to say last night after the game real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can play this. Hopefully we can hear the audio.
I remember
I'm
myself.
going to play this out loud. Give me 2 seconds.
I mean, the turnovers were uncharacteristic. Obviously, we're usually pretty clean there. I give them credit. I thought they played really well. They played with great energy. They were physical. They pressured. They sustained it for much of the 48. I thought we did some good things. I mean, we got off to a really good start, and then got off to a really good start in the third. We really controlled the first and third quarters, and had a really hard time in the second and the fourth. So we'll watch it. You know, it wasn't all bad, but we definitely have to play, uh, our style and impose our will for more of the 48 minutes if we want to come on the road and get a win.
A dad's work.
Ew. I don't want all that. Um, just the
What
fact
you
that he
got to
was
say? What you
able
got
to
to say
just
about that, Monica?
yeah, so just the fact that he was able, I mean, it said unforced errors, meaning they're they in themselves, like you said that they were tired, right? It could be a possibility that they literally were tired coming off the road. And so at that point, when does it end as far as like we're saying, "Oh, because you're on the road playing." I've heard several people say, OKC is not that much of a good road team. That's not necessarily true because how many losses did they have this season?
Man, they won 68 games. They good
That's
on the
my
road.
point. That's my
They
point.
good on the road.
So that's not a good enough excuse for me that they're not a good road team. Um, they've had their rest. They shouldn't be too fatigued. I don't really understand what the frazzled looks on the faces and everything from SGA specifically because he's the team leader. So, no one else really looked that frazzled. Yeah, they looked annoyed, but they didn't look frazzled. SGA literally looked scared. Like he looked like a scared little boy on the floor. So, I think they didn't expect that level of aggression to come from the Pacers, and literally, like I said, people was getting knocked in the face. I know Kason Wallace probably got a blackout right now. SGA got on his sunglasses in this little video we see. Want to know why? He got like black eyes, like underneath, like it's not that bad, but you can see it when you look at his face. They was getting beat on last night. Like Caruso, that little move that Neesmith did when they said, okay, let's stop and see, check for a flagrant, right? Do I feel like it was a flagrant? Maybe kind
Absolutely.
of because he kind of did like
When he did two hands, that was on that. He could have just slapped one. He could
super.
have just slapped the hand he landed up with it. Two hands was wild. He could have hurt himself.
Yeah, and then for them not to call it a flagrant was just kind of wild to me. Cause and then like, so you hear things about players or whatever. They're like Neesmith is a very aggressive player. Like just overall, like they said he's been like that since like high school. Like they said he's crazy. So when I seen that, I was just like, bruh, like was all that necessary? Was all that it was a follow through for me? It was, and they said it wasn't a follow through. I was just like, okay, whatever. I just seen a lot of people just getting beat up on the floor last night, wherever it was Indiana or the Thunder, but the Thunder were especially getting beat on. I think Jalen Williams was the only one that was really holding his own. Like he went over and flexed at the bench and flexed at the crowd, like, yo, like, and one, like, what's up? Everyone else, just I'm disappointed in my boys. Like I feel like they should have pulled through for that game, but they didn't. But I'm not mad at them. I mean, you can't win every single game. Um, let's see what SGA had to say, and then we can go from there. Because I really want to see like what he's talking about right now.
Like a bird's eye view right now. After watching film, we'll definitely have a better idea. But they were aggressive. They were heavy in the crowd. I'm not sure how many points they had, but it felt like that when they scored, like we're going against a set defense, and it's always harder against a set defense. So off the top of my head, those are a few things, but I'm sure there's probably more that we can weave through once we watch film.
For sure, here on the right.
Joel.
So yeah, I think the everyone is from that last game with Aaron Williams. I'm listening.
To me, those answers sound like the type of thing, like just basic stuff. I didn't get much insight from that. I think we already mentioned that. Yeah, there was a crowd, yes, but I think also contributed to the crowd by not driving decisively. I think yesterday's game was when you drive into the paint, your mind has to be made up immediately that you're going to score. I think a lot of the times when I saw him drive, it looked like he was doing the foul baiting thing, cocking his hand back, tossing it up, expecting for a whistle, and there was no whistle. Also, if you notice at the beginning of the game, there was an offensive foul and defensive foul called quickly on OKC. So they immediately called 2 fouls on OKC as soon as the game started.
Yeah.
So I feel like off top, the referees kind of took some air out of the game rather quickly, and I think that probably played in the OKC psyche because OKC is an extremely handsy, touchy-feely team. And so I think that kind of disturbed them a bit. And it seemed like what's funny, as we looked and we saw that nobody in OKC was in foul trouble, the way that OKC played, they played like they were in foul trouble.
Yeah, like they weren't aggressive at all.
They played the way they played. You would have thought somebody in OKC fouled out.
But do you think that they played a little less aggressive because they were scared?
Well,
because
here's the thing about
were really violent last night. Like I don't know. I mean, I watched every play, and it was super violent, super aggressive. Like you can't tell me these guys are friends off the court. And they'll you'll hear the reporters sometimes, these two, they went to the same school together. Oh, they're having some words and they're smiling at each other. Nah. I thought it was going to be a brawl at one point. I thought it was going to be a brawl.
Here's what we know, Monica. We know, so last night, like I said, the role players, bench players for Indiana had 48 points. We know role players have more confidence when they're playing at home. That's why it's very important when you're the road team to immediately bring the aggression right away. You have to, when you're on the road, you have to be okay with being the villain because last night Indiana was the villain, but when you're at home, you're not the villain because you have the crowd on your side. So when I yank you down with 2 hands, I'm not hearing boos. I'm hearing fuck yeah. So you have to come with that. So if you're OKC, you have to come with like double the intensity because it's just y'all. It's really you versus 20,000 people, and it seems like the coach did not prepare them for that. Remember, Indiana got a championship coach. He was a championship player in the '80s with the Boston Celtics dynasty. Yeah. So he knows that you gotta bring the pain, right? He knows that you gotta sacrifice a technical foul to get in these dudes' head. I didn't think
Yeah.
that OKC got that. And I don't think OKC got that memo. And then lastly, before we go back to you, all that I'm tired stuff. Well, there's another game tomorrow. This is the shortest break between games. The first two games, I think there was a 3-day break between the first two games. It's
Hmm.
only a 1-day break between yesterday and tomorrow's game. So if you were tired going into yesterday's game, you won't be doubly tired tomorrow.
I don't even think they was
So
tired though. I think like you just said, they weren't prepared for that crowd. Like the crowd at the Wolves Stadium is not the same as the Pacers crowd. Like you saw how those people was looking. Like they was on go. They was on go. Yeah, I know you heard that song
but
from
I
Ben.
also
We on go,
that
we on
wasn't
go. They was on go. Like they was ready to
this
fight.
NBA
You know
finals.
what I'm saying?
This
They
is
was
NBA
ready to
finals.
scrap. They was ready to
That's
scrap.
no excuse. It's the NBA finals. That's no excuse. It's the
Yeah, no,
NBA
it's no
finals.
excuse. That's understandable. They also haven't been here. So, in both teams really. So, but one team has more experienced players per se, so they have been there. So, some of them have been there at some point. This team hasn't really been in that position. So, I think going into this next game, I definitely think they'll be able to adjust. I think they'll be able to look at it from a different perspective. I think that just the boxing out of the crowd, like the just, letting it just roll off, they're gonna have to do that. They can't let those comments and everything get to them, especially with Shea being like MVP. Like everybody's coming for your head, sir. Like you can't play the way that you played last night. You just can't. And you can't be turning over the ball like that. Like you just can't. You got to shoot and keep shooting. You tell everybody keep shooting, so you got to keep shooting as well. I did like the positivity that was coming from the mics and everything. You know how they mic them up and they're like, "Oh, listen to this." I did enjoy the positivity that was coming from that on both ends of the floor, whether it was from Shea or Tyrese Halliburton. But this next game, I think OKC shows out. That's what happened the first game. They came in there. I made an excuse for them and I said, they lost because they wanted to kind of see what they were working with. Now, like the level of intensity has gone up as far as what they're working with. Do you think the Pacers can get even more intense than what they were last night? That's what the
Yes,
question is. So you think it can
yes,
be worse?
yes, because Pascal Siakam was 8 for 14. He had 21 points. I still don't think he's gone off yet. And
I
Pascal
don't think he's
Siakam,
going to because they still got to keep him on tab.
I don't think. I mean, he was highly efficient last night. He got whatever he wanted last night. He got whatever
Because
he
his
wanted.
team around him was highly aggressive last night. Can they
That's
keep?
cool.
Can they all keep that up? Game after game after game. Me going out on the court and just playing ball, whether I'm just shooting or playing around with someone else, when you're playing defense, it's hard on your body. Can they night after night do this? Yeah, they get a
Uh,
break, but it's
well,
still
they only
mental.
got to do it 2 more times. That's the beauty of it. And he was efficient in game one when they won. He was
Mhm,
efficient last night. He had a bad game too. But
mhm.
I'm just saying, like,
I
what
think
was
OKC
clear
comes in
to
there and dominates them tomorrow night.
what was clear to me, whatever Chet Holmgren
Hmm.
cannot guard Pascal Siakam. He was backing him down. He got the fadeaway off whenever he wanted to. And then the problem is, so it really comes down to, will Pat what?
Caruso
So
can guard Pascal Siakam. See,
hey, it ain't work last night.
it ain't work last night, but it can work, and we've seen it work.
Well, you only seen it work one time, man.
I mean,
I've seen it. He's gone off. Now it's only been 3 games, but I'm just saying 2 out of the 3 games it ain't work. Now tomorrow, do I expect OKC to win? I must say, instead of saying I expect them to win, I think they have no choice but to win. They cannot go down
mhm,
3-1.
yeah.
Um, you're not going to be the youngest team in the finals since 1977 and expect me to believe that you're going to come back from 3-1. I'm not going for that.
As I said, we got to figure out a different process. They didn't have Caruso on Pascal last night. He wasn't on him at all. That wasn't a
Hey,
thing last night.
I mean, that makes sense. All I'm saying
So
is,
we didn't. So we didn't see it in three games. He wasn't on him last night.
I'm with you.
It just was an inefficient game, just overall between all players. But if there's anyone who I think can really guard him and really annoy him and pester the hell out of him, it's definitely Caruso. Cason Wallace is too small. Um, Jalen Williams is not aggressive enough. I just don't see it. I don't see it from him. Shea's not going to be that aggressive because he's not trying to get into that much foul trouble. Hartenstein be looking scared sometimes. I ain't gonna hold you. He be looking scared. Like the fact that he only got 3 rebounds, but he was by the rim every time when they were rebounding was just wild to me. Like he wasn't even really trying to get the rebounds. And there was just a lot of sloppiness on both parts from both teams last night, even with like the constant turnovers and the back and forth. There was a lot of ball handling that was just very sloppy. Um, I saw some of the players, like just the open space. They lost control of the ball, big open space, and nobody could grab the ball within that time frame, and they just got it right back. And it just felt messy. It felt messy. It felt aggressive. I think that this next game needs to be a bit more structured. Um, I hope that the refs can make the right calls. I hope that everyone's not getting bullied and beat up on, and because that they had my boys out there looking crazy. I mean, even they had them out there looking crazy. I was very upset last night. I was very upset at just the things that were happening, the calls that I saw being called, all the fouls. Some of them weren't even real fouls. It just was a lot going on.
I'm with you. I'm with you. What's your prediction for tomorrow?
Like I said, I think OKC comes in there and does what they need to do. I think they're more aggressive tomorrow. I believe that they can take this game and dominate. I think that they can dominate them tomorrow. They just can't let anyone get into their head. They can't let all the bucking and all that get into their head. Like they just got to play the game. They got to go out there and they got to play, and they got to play like they want it. Cuz I could see the desperation from them last night. Like you could see it. The way that they were playing, you could see the desperation. They really did not want to give up on that game at all, and they didn't. And that's why they will forever have my respect as a team. To win, the desperation moves, nah, we gotta strategize. Their coach ain't have nothing to throw at Pacers last night. He ain't had nothing to throw back at them. And it was just disappointing to watch. It was a desperate game. It was very aggressive, very violent. I don't really want to see that tomorrow night. I want to see something a little more structured. I want to see SGA looking confident on the floor. I want him to believe in himself that he could do it. Because they can. I would like to see more minutes from Hartenstein and Chet on the floor together. Because if we look back at game one, we already spoke about this. They didn't play either of them in that fourth quarter in game one, which is essentially why they lost. Um, I'm they gotta find a way to stop that Halliburton Obi Toppin pass.
Mhm.
They gotta find a way to get to box that out. They have to find a way. because Indiana has been finding ways to get certain players on the floor that can make these majestic moves and um essentially score. And I need them to find a way to get rid of that. They got to find a way. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know what strategy they're gonna take. I'm really intrigued to see like what they're gonna try to do going forward, because the I'm taken aback. They weren't supposed to lose that game last night, and I'm just taken aback about it. How do you feel? What do you think is gonna happen in game? What is this, game 4? Do
Tomorrow
you
will be game
feel
4.
like Yeah, do you feel like OKC can find a way to stop some of these passes? Because if you look at not OKC, Pacers, the way they pass the ball is just, it's so neat. It's so neat. It's so in your face. It's aggressive. It's great. It works. It was very hard for them to block those passes. The passes were fast. They were smart. They were strategic with it. Whereas OKC passing the ball, you saw, like, did you see that sloppy pass from Hartenstein? He was trying to be cute, and I was like, doing all this, what are you trying to be cute for? This is an NBA Finals game. It's not time for that.
Yeah, I saw a few sloppy passes
Yeah,
from
I saw.
OKC.
Yeah, but
Um,
that one specifically pissed me off because it was a straight up turnover. And then the whole, like, just when we're outbounding the ball, we have to pay attention to everything going on the floor.
oh
Um,
my gosh, are you
TJ
talking about that
McConnell got like
TJ McConnell
2 rebounds.
steal? Oh my gosh, that was annoying as fuck.
I was just like, did you just give up 4 points in 10 seconds?
So yeah, I couldn't. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
But
They got to
so
pay attention. These Pacers, they're handsy. OKC is a handsy team too, but the Pacers, they're very handsy.
you're right, like you said, they beat OKC at their own game. You want to touch, you want to fill somebody up like you a bouncer at the club. We can do
Yeah.
that too. We can do that too. We ain't got no problem. Well, you want to fill me up? I'm gonna fill you up.
Yeah.
But when it came to the passes, I felt like the Pacers were more deliberate. It's what the Pacers did. They combined what OKC does with the physicality and the touchy feely
Mhm.
with decisive moves with the basketball. When they threw it to Pascal Siakam, he got into his move. He hit the fadeaway, whether he missed it or not. They got into their move. When they passed it to a 3-point shooter, they shot it right away. No dribbling, no playing around with the basketball. And so I think that's what OKC needs to do. OKC needs to take a page out of Indiana's book and increase the pace. I saw some people on ESPN saying they need to slow the game down. I do not think that's what OKC needs to do. I
Yes,
think they
they
need
do,
to,
because when they slow the game down, they play better defense.
yeah, but when they slow the game down, I
It,
think when the problem that OKC has when they try to slow the game down, it shows the warts in Jalen Williams and Chet's offensive game, which I think is mental. I don't think Chet and Jalen Williams are at the position where they want to play ISO ball in the half court in Game 4 on the road of the NBA Finals. So
well,
I
we
think
saw that
it's
they couldn't play ISO ball. We saw what happened when they tried to play ISO ball.
so then the only other thing to do is play fast. You don't have that. You don't have the luxury. It's not a veteran team. They cannot slow the game down.
They
They will
have to
lose
slow the
that way.
game down. They
Then
have
the
to
series
slow it
is
down.
over.
That doesn't
The
necessarily
series is over.
mean ISO ball every time, though.
Yeah, but they're gonna force the ball out of Shea's hands in the half court. So that's why it's easier to get cross matchups in transition. Get the rebound and get out of. That's why it's important to have Hartenstein out there, get the rebound, push, and get out of there, and get some transition baskets. And then when you get transition baskets, you can get and ones, you can get them in foul trouble. You start playing in the half court, you don't have a big man you can throw it to. If they block off Shea's pathway from getting to the mid range that they were cutting off yesterday, then you ain't got no options like that. You ain't got no. They don't have a playmaker outside of Shea, as you saw. They didn't rack up the assists last night. They don't. So in order to play in the half court, you would need a pass first player like a Hartness. I mean, like a Halliburton, like a Chris Paul, like a Jokic, like something like that. That's not the team they got. They got a run and gun team. They've been winning by playing run and gun basketball, and they tried to play half court
But they
basketball
also
last
win
night.
by being able to make these players take stupid shots, and they weren't able to do that last night at all.
So
None of the
and
Pacers
that's
were
the issue.
taking dumb shots. So who wasn't on their game? Was it the entire team? Was it just Shea? Was it because Hartenstein was benched? Because I've seen Hartenstein get benched before, and they still play fine.
Well,
I'm just
this is
saying.
well, yeah, but they're going against the number one offensive team in basketball, and since the All Star break, this is the number two best team in the NBA.
Mhm.
So all that other stuff that they did is fine and dandy. This ain't the team to do it. And
Yeah.
remember, we've seen the other team. Indiana slowed down OKC last night. The only other team we saw slow down OKC was Denver, and they were an Aaron Gordon hamstring away from them being in the NBA Finals. So you see the recipe for OKC: slow these niggas down, and they will get fragile. And that's what happened last night. They got slowed down, and they had 19 turnovers because when they're forced to play in the half court, you saw last night. They don't know what to do. What did you hear, Ty? What did you hear? Shea Gilgeous-Alexander say in that clip you played that we were going against a set defense. What does that mean? That's a young team that's used to running past everybody in transition, getting quick buckets, getting trailing threes. Now when they in the facing a set defense in the half court, they act like they don't know what to do. And it
Well, they're
really
gonna
comes
have to
down to
figure out
now.
what to do tomorrow night because I don't have time for these games.
What it comes down to is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. We've seen you play hero ball. That's fine and dandy. Now we need to see Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the playmaker, the facilitator. That's what it's kind of like the reverse. How with Indiana, we needed to see Halliburton, the scorer, which he showed us yesterday. Now today, going forward, we need to be introduced to SGA, the facilitator.
Yeah, we need to be introduced to SGA, the aggressor.
Well, he's been aggressive, but we need to see
He wasn't
SGA get
aggressive
others
last
involved.
night.
He took the most shots of anybody in the game yesterday.
That's fine. You could take the most shots, but are you making them take shots that aren't necessary because
You
of
mean on
your
defense?
defensive play? He wasn't playing heavy defense on them last night.
I mean, he's not the primary defender to their
But he
top
can
three
be.
scorers.
But he
But
can
that's not,
be. And we've
yeah,
seen
but
that from him.
but he's like the fifth best defender on OKC. You don't want to waste his legs on defense. That's the whole reason why, I'm assuming because remember, Jalen Williams is second team all defense voted this year in the NBA. Casey Wallace is in the starting lineup, and then you also got Lou Dort, right? So you have three better defensive options, and then you have Alex Caruso. You have four better defensive options off top than Shea. But Shea needs to be focused on getting others involved. We know he can score. We need an 8 assist, 10 assist kind of game because what we're seeing, yes, Jalen
He
Williams
couldn't
scored
pass.
26. He couldn't pass
Nobody was
because
in the
he was
right.
driving.
Hartenstein wasn't on the floor, so nobody was in the right spot.
Yeah, but there's things SGA can do. He can bring the ball back out. He can run a pick and roll with Chet. He can run a pick and roll with Jalen Williams. There's things he can do. They can do an inverted pick and roll. There's things they can do to get the ball rolling that that SGA will need to execute next game because it's not just going to be Shea the scorer because he does not have teammates that can create for themselves. I know Chet had 20 and Jalen Williams had 26, but it didn't look smooth.
Yeah.
It looks like they still need to. it looks like those young players, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, they still need to be spoon-fed easy shots if possible. You still need to, you know what I mean? They need some easy buckets. And that's why it's important to have Hartenstein on the court so that you can have two good passers in Shea and then Hartenstein on the floor. Because if they're going to be forced to play a half court game, you need better playmaking on the court.
Mm.
Um,
Uh,
I
I
don't
think,
know if you want to talk.
yeah.
I was going to ask what you think about the New York Knicks coaching search situation. It's gotten kind of embarrassing. They went from asking permission to speak to Jason Kidd, then they had to ask permission to speak to 7 other coaches. They all got denied. They fired their coach after they had the best season in 25 years. So I wanted to know if you've been keeping up with that. If you had any thoughts. If not, it's all good. But I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on the Knicks.
Hmm. Um. Hmm. Do I have any thoughts on the Knicks? I don't have no thoughts on the Knicks right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why it's that difficult to make a play for a coach. Um. I don't really have no thoughts on that right now. I've been seeing what's been going on. I think it's a lot of drama. I think it's ridiculous. I don't think it's like necessary. Um, I don't know who wants to coach the Knicks right now. I mean, we're talking about all these trade rumors and things of that nature. Um, eh, I thought Jason Kidd would be a nice fit. Um, I personally don't. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're trying to like easily like leverage someone in. What do you think?
I think it's embarrassing. I
You think
think
it's
there was no
embarrassing
reason.
because
Well, I think for 2 reasons. There was no reason to fire Tom Thibodeau. But I feel like if you're going to fire a coach after making it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since the year 2000, then I'm assuming you have a plan. But to see that they didn't have a plan and they fired their coach, it just seems so unnecessary. It seems like an unforced error. It seems like you did not have to do that. And it just seems like there was no need to put yourself in this position. It seems like a distraction when you needed to spend this off season on making minor tweaks, and instead, I don't know. I'm just really disappointed. I thought the Knicks were headed in a good direction, but I can see them taking a step back.
so what do we want to do with New York going forward?
I mean, they got to find a coach, and I don't know. I don't know who that will be. I do not know who
Do you
that
feel
will be.
like it's gonna be
Mike Malone.
I mean, but why are we firing coaches from NBA teams and then bringing them back just for another team? Like it's just
I'm with you. I'm with you. I was against the
I know it
Lakers. Got rid
happens.
of.
I know it happens, but it's stupid. Why
It's
fire
dumb.
them? Bring them back for another team. Just trade them.
I, I was against the Los Angeles Lakers. They got rid of Darvin Ham for JJ Redick, and
Mhm.
they lost in the first round in 5 games this year, just like they did last year. So I don't get it. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, they got rid of JB Bickerstaff for Kenny Atkins. They lost in the second round just like they did last year, except they look worse. So I think teams are firing coaches left and right, and I'm not really seeing I'm not really seeing the improvements to justify their decisions. If anything, it seems like they end up in the same or in a worse position for
Yeah, look at
firing their coach.
Sacramento.
Yes,
We brought in
exactly.
Doug Christie and like, well, I'm gonna give you this. Like the first few games that Doug Christie coached with Sacramento, I was like, okay, maybe they can actually do something. They can actually make some moves. Um, sorry guys, I'm a little frazzled like SGA last night, a little exhausted from the day. Um, just going on after those few games, like they kind of like picked their pocket, like they already kind of felt like, hey, this is what you're doing. These are the plays you're running. We see what you're doing. Like you need to come up with something new. This doesn't make any sense. And then we saw the Sacramento Kings just get totally boxed out. Totally. Like they went from winning a few games and then they just started losing. Um Once people can figure out your plays and your playbook, you just get kind of done. So, you're bringing in other coaches. Are there any coaches that they brought in like from the underdog that you felt like have been really successful this season?
No, no.
Yeah.
Now one new coach has made a difference in my mind. Oh, JB Bickerstaff was hired by Detroit, and they made the playoff. They had, I think, one of the most historic turnarounds from a win-loss perspective from one year to the next.
Hmm.
So that's a team I feel excited about the Detroit Pistons going into next year. Um, I
Yeah, the
feel really excited about them.
Pistons are an exciting team to watch, and they've
I
been
feel I
playing so
feel
well.
and I feel excited about our Orlando Magic. They started the season hot. Their two best players got injured. Then when the two best players got back, their third and fourth best players got injured.
Yeah,
If they stay,
Jalen
if
Suggs,
they
Morris
stay,
Wagner, done.
yes, if they stay healthy, add some more shooting to their roster. Add a point guard.
Yeah,
I, I, I like so the two teams I like, or three teams I like next year: Orlando Magic, Detroit Pistons, and the San Antonio Spurs. Wemby was having a terrific season. I remember we talked that night when his shoulder, they found the blood clot. He had to go on blood thinners. I hope, it's every report suggests that he's going to be good to go when the season starts.
yeah.
De'Aaron Fox, I'm excited for them to have a full off
And
season.
what if they tried? What if they trade for Jalen Brown? Who are they getting rid of for Jalen Brown?
No, they're going to trade for Giannis or for KD.
Giannis said that he's happy in Milwaukee. He said that he looks forward to
Giannis,
playing with Milwaukee next year.
Giannis, I'm getting sick. Giannis, I'm getting sick of this. Don't do this. Don't do
He's
this,
not
Giannis.
leaving Milwaukee. He likes
No,
his
no, 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 no,
team.
no, no. I'm saying don't. Giannis is the one who I'm gonna talk to the team about my future, and then now you saying you like Milwaukee. I don't like when players do this, Monica.
But this is
We
what he
wouldn't be talking.
said. He said,
But
"I look forward to
flip
making
flop.
the playoffs
Don't.
again with the Bucks next year."
I'm
I just
saying
signed the clip
cool.
too.
My, but we weren't the one who started the trade rumors. It was you, Giannis. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Don't do us like we don't. Hey, Monica, we don't care. We do not care. But don't flip flop on niggas.
Nah,
That's all
I
I'm saying.
care. I care wherever that they call him a freak for a reason. Like I care where he's going. Because
I'm
Giannis
just
and
saying.
Wemby together is ridiculous. Like I just don't feel like that's a fair. That's no, that's not okay. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. That's not even a fair. That's not even a fair matchup. That's not even a fair matchup. You want to put Giannis and Wemby on the same team on the floor together? Come on, no. Mm-mm. Now
I
KD,
mean,
I would like to see where KD goes. I'm very sad that he will never come play for the Wizards, as he said. What are we doing with the home team? That's what we need to be worried about. I was talking to a lady earlier and she's just like, I root for the Wizards. I know we not good, but I root for them. But the Mystics are great. They're not perfect, but they're a good team. Why can't we get pieces to certain teams? The Wizards and the Bulls. It seems like they're just being done dirty every season for no reason.
I think the Wizards are fine. They're a rebuilding team. They got Alex Sarr. I went to a few games this year. I'm
Hmm.
excited about the Wizards'
Hmm.
future. We wanted to get the number one overall pick. Obviously, it didn't work out for us. But I think we got some great options at number 6. We're probably going to be picking in the lottery next year. Remember, we also had Phoenix's picks. this year, and we have some swaps. Actually, I have it pulled up here. The Wizards are in a real good spot. Let me see. The Wizards, we we own our. We have the number 6 pick this year. We own Memphis's 18th pick, and then we have our own pick 1 through 8 protected, and then we have a swap with Phoenix, whichever one is most favorable. And then what else? We have the more favorable. We also have a swap next year with Memphis, and then we have some other stuff that seems complicated. We have our own pick in 27. We have a swap with Brooklyn. We have Philadelphia's 9 through 30 protected. If Philadelphia doesn't convey to Brooklyn in 27, and if Philly has conveyed his first pick to OKC, blah, 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 blah. We have a whole lot of complicated stuff. Basically, the Wizards got a lot of draft picks between now and the year 2031. And we have a really young team. And Alex Sarr, I think he was the youngest player to ever have 100 blocks and 100 3-pointers made in the same season. I'm really excited about the Wizards. It's going to look ugly. It looked ugly this year. It's going to look ugly next year. But I think the Wizards can be where Detroit was this year, the year after next year. So in 2028, we're a super young team. We're the only team to start 3 rookies in the starting lineup. So, and you know what comes with starting 319.
I have no choice.
Well, we did that's on purpose. They're not gonna get good if they're coming off the bench for bad players. So that's how it goes, Monica. You start 319-year-olds, you put your seatbelt on. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, but they improve. They looked good, and they ended the season with the win. And yeah, it's gonna look sloppy. It should look less sloppy next year. So next year they're gonna miss the playoffs. This year, I think they won about 16 games. Next year, can we get to 30 wins? Is what you're asking yourself next year. And then,
I love how you believe.
I mean, we started 319-year-olds, so I can't sit here and be like, oh, we lost 60 games. I mean, that's what I care more about. How did we look in those losses? All the losses I saw from the Wizards, for the most part, we stayed close, and we lost a lot of games in the third quarter. That's what I expect from a young team, because I expect older teams to be like, you're too small. Alex Sarr, he didn't have enough weight on him. He's 19. That's okay. Next year, I'm looking for better decision making. They're still not going to know all the things they're supposed to know, but I'm looking for better decision making. Hopefully, we can find somebody who wants to trade for Jordan Poole, get more assets. We held on to Kyle Kuzma a little bit too long.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But yeah, so if Jordan Poole can have a good beginning of the year next year, and we can trade him hopefully for another first-round draft pick, and put the ball in our young guards' hands, then yeah, I expect great things for the Wizards moving forward. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Have you been watching WNBA? The Lynx lost their first game last night to the Seattle Storm.
Yeah, I did see that. I also want to know what's the plan moving forward for Chicago. Chicago fired their coach last year. They're starting off rough this year.
They got rid of Kennedy Carter, and she was very good on offense for them. She was a key player. Kennedy Carter's playing overseas now. Why are we getting rid of players that were helping the team? She became a free agent. Nobody wanted to pick her up because they say it's her aggression. They're all aggressive. It's women.
Yeah. I think we could both agree that they need some aggression. They in need of some aggression. It's not looking good right now.
Nah, it's not at all. I mean, you got Angel Reese out here shooting threes. Why is she shooting threes? She shouldn't have.
Asia Wilson had a little rough injury.
Asia Wilson. Let's look at this Asia Wilson clip. I got it up. because it's getting real scrappy with the WNBA players. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll be back soon. Hopefully it's not a concussion.
Yeah. Let's look at this clip from her real quick from last night.
But the Aces have not. They haven't really played.
They haven't performed well.
No, they haven't played good basketball this year at all.
Just misses.
With the injury.
Oh, Angel Wilson. Oh,
Oh,
Nah, it's
no,
not
I
an
thought
injury.
that
That's just her blocking. No, but I like watching her block people. It's funny.
Vivid Seats.
I hate these commercials. Hold on. I got something for you, Skylar.
Yeah, but
Chicken face last night.
but it seems, it looks like we're headed towards a rematch next year of the lip. I can't see. It seems like we're headed to a rematch of the finals again. Seems like it's going to be Liberty, Minnesota. I'm not really seeing anybody who's going to stand in either team's way. They're beating teams, especially New York. New York is out here beating
Yeah,
teams.
Liberty is out here whooping people. I mean, Jonquel Jones is out right now, and they still whooping people.
They're whooping. I think they got a point differential of 19. They out here, they scoring 90 points a game. It's looking real nasty for them.
For who?
Yeah, for the rest of the league as it compares to New York Liberty right now.
Well,
Right
yeah,
now,
I
it's
mean,
in
Fever.
the
Caitlin
Lynx.
Clark is out for the Fever right now. Who else we looking at? The Storm have been looking decent. What is it? I actually haven't been able to watch a Valkyries game, but I saw they beat the Aces and another team. I think they beat the Sparks the other night,
See, the
and
Valkyries,
it's
the
looking
reason I can't get with them is because
with
the
who?
Valkyries,
Valkyries.
they
Mhm.
score on average 78 points a game, but they give up on average 81 points a game. So they gotta
Crazy.
clean up their defense. They don't score enough points and they give up too many points to me. So that's where I'm at with it.
I mean, let's not count the Mystics out.
I'm counting
Let's
the
also
Mystics
not
out.
count out the Dream. I mean,
I'm
Dream, in
counting,
all honesty, like Brittany Griner, like
I like the
the
Dream.
amount, yeah, I like the Dream too, but the amount, like Brittany Griner, we need her on the floor at all times, and the amount of fouls that she be getting is just really ridiculous. Um, Connecticut Sun are trash. Yeah, I mean, Mercury, Storm, I would say Mercury, Storm, Mystics, Fever, Dream, Liberty. Did I say Lynx?
In terms of those, is that like your power ranking? Like what we
Yeah,
talking about?
I'm talking about in terms of who's going to be in the running.
For me, it's New York, it's Atlanta, it's
Lynx.
in the East,
But
and
don't
then
count the
in the
Storm out just yet.
I didn't get to the West. I just said the East.
Oh,
In
you're
the
talking about,
East,
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Sorry. Go ahead.
in the East, for me, it's the top two is New York and Atlanta, and then for me in the West, I'm not counting out the Storm, but for me personally,
They're
I
number
like
3.
I like Phoenix. I like Phoenix better.
Okay.
I like Phoenix better. I like fluidity, especially when you talk about the WNBA game. I do like the Storm. I do like the Storm. I'm not gonna hold you. I do like the Storm. So I think it's a 3-team race in the West because I cannot dismiss the Storm. You are correct. It
Yeah,
cannot be
Satu
dismissed.
Sabelli is a beast, though.
But I think with Atlanta, how would I say this? I think when it comes to Brittany Griner, I think she's just an older player.
Yeah.
But you're right, she's just an older player. Um, you know, she's still giving you 24 minutes a game. She's still giving you 6 rebounds, 13 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fine and dandy. She gave you one block a game. But as far as they gonna go as far as Howard and Gray take it.
Hmm.
And right now, I'm not saying Alicia Gray is in the MVP race. Right now, I can't
Yeah.
go that far. I cannot go that far, but she having a really good season.
Yeah.
She's shooting really well from the field. She's scorching hot from three this year, 42%, 50 from the field. So she's doing her thing. And they won't be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah.
gonna be.
I like how scrappy the girls are this season. It's gonna be a fun little run for everyone. So I'm looking forward to just seeing who pulls forward. But New York, they are playing the best.
I
Uh,
would like to say,
yeah, right now, every time, every game with them is always on point. Other teams, sometimes it takes them a little while to get going. Um, but New York, yeah, Mystics be falling behind a lot. Like, and I saw when they played New York, like that was a very hard game for them. And I saw Brittany Sykes flopping several times to get unnecessary points because it didn't matter at the end of the game. They still lost by a nice amount. Um, but I believe in the Mystics. I think Kiki and Sonya can definitely be a difference maker in this season going forward. Um, let's see.
my thing is, um, before we even continue, I wish I could say for all the podcasts out there, can they please stop talking about the WNBA if they don't watch the WNBA? I feel like I'm I'm hearing a lot of ignorant takes on the WNBA from a lot of these podcasts, and I just feel
Like,
like wow,
what have you heard?
just the same tired tropes, like they comment on players and it's not even, and they're not even like talking about the game. It's just the same shit, the league. Like anytime I hear a podcast and they say like ain't nobody watching the WNBA, I already know they're not watching the
We are
WNBA.
watching the WNBA. I
I'm
personally
talking
don't like the fact that they're showing. No, 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 no. I'm not saying. I'm just saying in general, like in response to that. I don't like the fact that they're showing it during the NBA Finals. Why did we have 3 games on last night during the NBA Finals?
Monica, you
That
preaching to
kind
the
of pissed
choir.
me off.
There should be 3 games on tonight.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing going on tonight but baseball. But there's
But
no
here,
WNBA games tonight, and tomorrow there's what are there 1 or 2 games going on tomorrow during during the NBA Finals, and I'm just like, what are y'all purposely trying to sabotage their viewership? I'm not
I know.
turning off the OKC Pacer game to watch WNBA. 3 games. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm gonna catch the end of the game. That's not cool. Like, why do y'all do that? It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. I'm just trying to watch the games and be in peace, like on a night when the NBA finals aren't on. I don't get it.
I have a
But
question.
that's my rant. That's my rant. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have a question. Is
Hmm.
it safe to say that Nafisa Collier has officially passed Asia Wilson as the best player in the WNBA? Because that's one I'm at right now. I think she clearly the best WNBA, the best player in the WNBA,
She
and
consistent.
I'm telling, and I'm feeling like no disrespect, it's not close for me this year because I don't get no 3-point shooting with Asia Wilson. With Nafisa, here's what I get with Nafisa. I get scoring, I get rebounding, I get facilitating, I get defense, and I get 3-point shooting. I just think she's just a better player. She's 50, 40, 90, 51% from the field, 41% from three, 93% from the free throw line. She's giving me 2 steals, 2 blocks, 4 assists, 9 rebounds, 25 points per game, 35 minutes a game. I just feel like, and her team is number 1 in the conference. So, I know Asia Wilson got the shoe. I know she gets more hype. And it happens all the time. Every so often, the best player don't always get the most hype. We know this. Because,
How do you feel
Asia
about the
Wilson.
MVP from last year,
Do I think
Jonquel Jones? Jonquel
she was
out
the,
there shooting.
she was the finals MVP, the regular season MVP
She
was
was.
Asia Wilson.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. We're gonna always give the regular season MVP to Asia Wilson every year. She
But
got
see, I'm
a whole
against it.
commercial. She got a whole commercial
I'm against
where
it.
they saying she did it for us. Okay, so I'm not mad. I love Asia Wilson. Like I love watching her play. I love watching her block these hoes.
I love watching her play too.
All I'm
But-
saying is cool. Like it's all hype, but they don't mention other players, and there's other players that do a lot of work on the floor too. My personal
I'm with you.
player right now is Natasha Howard, because ever since they traded her to New York, she's been out there bullying these girls. She's been out there doing what she needed to do on the floor. She's very aggressive. When we had her on the Mystics, they didn't give her that much playing time. So to see her get more playing time and actually making a big difference on the floor, like. But they're not mentioning Natasha, not Natasha Howard. I'm sorry, Natasha Cloud. Forgive me. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, you there?
Are you hip to who I'm talking about or no?
No. I am hip to you.
Oh, okay. I'm just
I
making
want
sure. I'm like, okay. I'm like, am I
And
not?
I was
Yeah. So, yeah, Cloud is on fire right now. Like her level of aggression on the floor is fun to watch.
no, I was
They're not
I
gonna
was,
mention her. They're not gonna mention her. They're just not. Because
no, the reason why
we got Nafisa Collier and we got Asia Wilson and Breonna Stewart and all these other great people, so it's like other people. Let's look at the little people too. Let's look at
but
the
the people you're talking about are not little. And what I'm
no, they're not little, but I'm just saying they're not mentioning them in the conversation all the time.
I'm with you.
When we're
I'm with
talking
you.
about MVP, when we're talking about people who really out here hustling on the floor, trying to get a spot, trying to earn those minutes and everything, like that's what I'm talking about.
What's up with Las Vegas this year?
You said what's the Las Vegas issue?
Yeah, because Asia Wilson, she got the shoe, she in the commercials, but she giving you 7 less points this year. The rebounds have gone. She giving you 2 less.
Season just started.
rebounds.
Let's give her a chance to grow.
I mean, it's only a 38. It's a 40 game season, and they play a fifth of. So we don't. It ain't that we already we're already past. We're past the fifth of the season. So it ain't like we got so much time. You supposed to come on now. You was in the Olympics. Your legs should be fresh. Come on now. She and then she gonna miss tomorrow's game.
She can't be MVP every game. Not every
No,
game.
she can't
every
be.
year.
No, but you can't have that. You can't have a 7.2 rebound drop off. You can't go from shooting 52% to shooting 43%, Monica. That's devastating. 52 to 43%. I mean, come on now. That's concerning. That's concerning. And then the 3-point shot hasn't. I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying they're not at risk of missing the playoffs yet,
Yeah.
but they're 4-4 right now. And if she don't play tomorrow, and they playing Dallas is a bad team.
Dallas,
should win tomorrow.
they're gonna win that one. Come on. I'm
No,
not
no.
sleeping on Paige because I think Paige had a
I
35.
was about to say, my girl came back.
Let's not sleep
Okay, okay.
on Paige and
I
Enrique.
was waiting.
Let's not do them dirty like that because I feel like they play well together. They just haven't made it to that winning streak yet. I don't know what the problem. I've watched them play so well and then I watched them play really bad. And you got Paige doing everything she can on the floor, and I'm like, all right, when are we gonna win? Like, why do we give her to Dallas? Why do we give her to Dallas?
Well, this is how it goes when you the first overall pick.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the first. They're gonna have a top pick next year. This is if you a Dallas fan, all this year is about is for Paige to get her feet wet in the NBA and
Yeah.
stay healthy. Don't get hurt. Next year, you're going to add another top talent, and y'all just going to be. You know what? Dallas is in the same position as the Wizards are right now. You looking for all you looking for is Paige improving from game. You're not really caring about wins and losses. Now, tomorrow is a game where, hey, Paige, if you go off tomorrow, you might sneak your second win of the season. You might sneak one. You know what I mean? But that's it. Seattle is a really balanced team, so that's why I'm being kind of hard on Las Vegas right now because Seattle is a balanced team, and you're not catching Minnesota. You couldn't do nothing with Minnesota last year. You can't do nothing, and it don't seem like you could do nothing with Minnesota this year.
Kayla McBride be on that floor fighting for her life. Though. I ain't gonna hold you because she was one of my favorite players. Still is one of my favorite players. She been on that floor fighting for her life. I feel like the Unrivaled League should have made a lot of the women more sharper on the court. How do you feel like they've been looking? Some of the players that have been in the Unrivaled since coming out of that whole league midway through the year.
Yeah, it's interesting. So when I watched the Unrivaled, I mean, here's what I'll say: the players who were already great going into it are still great, and the young players who have room for improvement, i.e., Angel Reese, I mean, she still got the same. When I saw the Unrivaled League, I was looking for Angel Reese to try to experiment with her game.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she didn't. And coming back this year, and I looked it up, excuse me, she's 165 pounds. I'm wondering if Angel Reese, if I'm wondering what type of player would she be if she was 185 pounds? You know what I mean? Or 190 pounds. Because sometimes when she gets the offensive rebound, she gets pushed to the left or pushed to the right. And I'm wondering what that would look like if she had more weight on her. Would she be able to get those rebounds and be stronger and putting the ball back up? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think she would. So we're saying that she needs to train more.
Not yet. In terms, I don't know if it's a game issue or if it's like she bangs down low and gets the rebound, but if she could be a bit stronger and putting the ball back up, those putbacks.
Yeah, and getting those layups and not missing every layup. I saw her miss five layups in a row once. I was like, "Oh Lord Jesus, please help this. Please help this."
And I think that comes down to strength. I think that's a strength issue. I don't think it's because when you see her miss the layups, she's in great position.
Yeah.
But it's finishing through contact. It's finishing through. It's going through contact, which I think is her issue.
Okay, that's understandable. But going forward, I just want to see what the ladies do and what they bring. I do think that New York's gonna run it back again this year. I'm sorry, they too good. They too good.
They're well-oiled. They're a well-oiled machine.
Yes, they are, and they're fun to watch.
It's going to be a rematch. it's
Yeah.
gonna be New York versus Minnesota all over again because again, yeah, I talked about Nafisa, but
Minnesota got a
Minnesota
lot of
got a
work to do
complete
though.
yeah, Minnesota got a complete team. It's not just Nafisa. I just pointed her out because I think she's gonna be the MVP this year. But they got a
Yeah.
complete team, and and she upped her game. Like the way Asia Wilson went, and she was in the unrivaled league. Her game has been upped
Yeah.
dramatically. She went from 20 points a game to 25 points a game,
Yeah.
from 49% from three to 51% from three. I mean, not 51. So she
Shout
went from
out to
31.
Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart for starting that league.
Yeah, and I misspoke. She went from 31% from three to 41% from three. And she's shooting more from three, making more. I mean, she just it seems like it's her year. And yeah, she my favorite player to watch. Um,
I
and
love
again,
that.
I wish I could be watching her tonight, but there are no WNBA games
Yeah.
tonight.
There's none.
Um,
Even though the NBA finals are tomorrow, the WNBA games, they just couldn't fix the schedule, so that we could watch them tonight. It's great. I love it. I love when this happens. It's perfect.
yeah. But we do have 3 games on Saturday. We got the Lynx versus the Sparks. We
Mhm.
got the Liberty versus the Fever, and we got the Storm versus the Valkyrie. Um, I don't really see no room for upsets. Uh, I'm gonna say something. Aaliyah Boston for Indiana.
Aaliyah Boston is a freaking beast.
We in year. It's year number 3. I'm not gonna lie. I expected more from her career at this point.
Really?
It
She's
seems,
doing everything for her team since Caitlin's been out.
yeah, but I'm just saying in general, she's been a big eye. I thought
She's a
when she
rebounder.
was drafted.
She's a rebounder. She's a shooter.
She cool. She
Yeah.
cool. But she not. She hasn't played like the first overall pick that she was 2 years ago.
Okay.
She's played. She just cool. And that's disappointing. I thought she would be. I thought her and Caitlin Clark could be a dynamic duo.
Caitlin
And
Clark has been
she.
injured though, and she's been, like I said, she's been filling in for her. Her and what's the other girl name? She got the little pigtails. What's her name?
She ain't been special. She ain't been special. She ain't, and when I draft in any sport, when I draft you first overall pick, you got to be special. That's why you first.
Not it's not her, but the Wanna Boner, Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell is who I was talking about. But the Wanna Boner, she makes a difference on the floor as well.
They 4-5 right now, Monica.
I know, but she, I don't know. I'm trying to have somebody's back. Okay, I'm trying to defend them. Okay,
I mean, they gotta play better.
they do
Point
gotta play
point.
better, but it's hard to play better when you're the star of your team is out, and
Stop it.
I think Sophie's out
Stop
too.
it.
Because Caitlin Clark makes up a lot of those points on the floor.
Yeah, but Aaliyah Boston was supposed to be something special. She's not special. She's just good. She a good player. We
Mhm.
was expecting special. I'm not seeing special. I'm seeing a hype.
Give her a
That's
chance.
what I'm seeing. It's year 3.
Give her a chance.
I'm out. I'm out of chances. Paige Bucher, this her first year. She third in assists.
She's hungry.
Aaliyah should be hungry. You losing. Now you losing. Now you're losing. You saying wild shit. She's hungry.
She is hungry.
Everybody should be hungry.
Everybody should be hungry, but they're not. They're not.
Okay, and if you're not,
they play the bare minimum.
Then I can't
to get
rock
their
with
salary.
I can't do it. Can't do it, bro. I need more.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of room for development. I feel like just give her a chance. Give Elisa Boston a chance.
Um,
Give her a chance. But Paige back, I mean, she's all over the floor. She's doing everything. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be for every player. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like
I guess
everybody's not hungry like that. Brittany Sykes is hungry.
I mean,
She
that's
hungry.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
The
That's
Mystics are
fair.
hungry. They losing games, but they hungry. Certain teams play with a certain level of hunger that others don't. So I mean, it's just who want it and who don't. Hey,
You, you're right. You're right. You're right.
but there's chance for them for everyone to grow. See, like I said, yeah, we might be already a little bit through the season. Just give them a chance. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens overall. But yeah, I am about to get ready to sleep because it has been an exhausting day, and I'm pretty sure you can see I'm a little exhausted.
Yeah,
Um,
no doubt.
so I appreciate you for being on here, Sembe. This has been a great conversation. I hope to have many more. Hopefully, we can get Money on next time. We'll see. It's been very productive, so I appreciate you. So if you want
Appreciate you too.
to talk to the people, tell them where to find you, where to find your work, Raver. Because I did actually listen to that what you sent me, and I was reading it, and I'm not done reading it yet because I wanted to make sure I got like the full impression of it. But I do want you to come on the Trapmus podcast, so we could talk more about that because the perspective is very interesting.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Is that published?
Uh, yeah, it's on my yeah. So anybody who wants to hear more of my thoughts, I'm going to be writing more and more. I think that's the medium I'm gonna choose to express myself in.
Mm-hmm.
I got new articles that I'm working through that I'm gonna write. You can find me on Substack at Simday Reads. One word, Simday Reads. It's just one word. And yeah, last time when you asked me where people could find me or what I could plug, I said the United Negro College Fund. This week, I'm encouraging everybody this summer, at least, the summer lasts for 12 weeks, 1 or 2 weekends this summer. Give some time to your local food bank, volunteer. I did it a few weeks ago. It was very rewarding. Try to, volunteer, give some time. I know everybody's busy, but an hour up on a Saturday can make a really big difference in light of everything. I know it's a whole lot of political stuff. We don't got to get into it, but I think the best way to make a change is to just give an hour of your time to some of these organizations that's accepting some volunteer work. I think goes a long way.
Awesome. We will definitely look into doing that and maybe even help sponsor one with this podcast. But thank you
That's
guys.
the goal.
Yeah, no, that's the goal. Literally, we got to help each other, guys. But thank y'all for tuning in to the Trapman Sportscast. I'm your host, Monica Cherise, my guest host, Simbe. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And we out.
Peace.
Peace.